impressed with the 150 TTSX, which was with Mag Pro, and I could have jerked that because those two are pretty good. The 175 LRX is with H1000, and then the 130 actually looks really promising. That was with IMR 4350. That's really, really nice. This could just be me getting fatigued, you know. This kind of spread out group has me a little concerned, but this one looks like it still has some potential. So anyways, for the short time, that looks like a keeping load, I guess. 130 Barnes tip TSX with a max load of IMR 4350, going about 37. So we'll do some jug tests here in a second and see how that does. Alright, Barnes 130 grain. Well, that was pretty unbelievable. There's jug everywhere. Looked like first jug, second jug, veered off, shed a pedal. There's another fragment over here. Another fragment here. Veered left. Or no, that's a fragment that went left. Look at this damage. Fragment went left. Bullet continued. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and out of the 7. Maybe. And gone. Let me look around for this for a second. Oh, got it right here. Went about another 10 feet, and there's the base. Impressive. Not what I was thinking. I was going to say about 5 or 6 jugs. Very interesting. Alright, we'll try another one here in a second and get all reset. You guys wet here? That round just has absolutely devastating energy at this range. There's the bullet. You can see I went through 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's a third, 4, 5. Veered out of 5, stuck into 6, and popped out the backside. Interesting. This is just ungodly amounts of power at close range. I was really thinking these bullets would hold together. Apparently not. That's fine. That's still going to stop an animal. 5, last one. Well, I don't know about you, but I think you're going to get about the same kind of penetration and performance, because I know those LRXs are a little more softer. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a couple chunks. Here's a chunk back here. 6 is leaking. Looks like there's a hole. It goes into 7. She is in number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fragments. That looks better. Any more fragments? No? There's just 1 petal hanging on and 3 others. That's not too bad. So upon further inspection of the jugs, I found a couple more petals and then this skirted mushroom basically. So here's the 130 base with 4 petals and a couple of little fragments at 129. Okay. Here is the 150 base and that skirt. I got some water on there, so let's see here. It's starting to rain. 151, 149, right there, with a little bit of water on there, missing a grain or so. And then here is the 3 petals and the 175. Come on. 175, 174. Yeah, there's a little bit of water on there, but whatever. There you go. That's them. 130, 150, 175. Okay, so just a little further evaluation here. 175 LRX, 150, and 130. After cleaning up the jugs a little bit more, I found this like skirted mushroom here, and that I'm sure comes off the 150 because when you add those together, you're at 149. So the 1 grain would be that tip, and then these 3 petals, and that is your 175 at 174. It's floating a little bit. 172. So that's that one, and then this one would be the 130, which my gun seemed to like with just the 3 loads that I tried. So I'll definitely hang on to this. But so you're looking at about 126. So we lost maybe another couple grains here, other than the tip that was in there. But here's the really interesting thing: you slide all those little petals off, and then you have 78 grains. Well, that's a 60% weight retention, still at essentially 30 yards at point blank range. You're still getting 60% weight retention, and then this is going to act like a RFID round. You know, it's going to go through. You're going to have 4 petals shearing off with that core penetrating deep, and so you get that kind of maximum effect of mid-range trauma with massive expansion and wound channel, and then still a core penetrating deep, much like a partition bullet. You know, that's essentially like the rear end of a partition bullet after the front is mushroomed and gone. Although you don't have a whole lot of expansion here, you still have exceptional penetration, and you're going to get a pass through and 2 holes, and the animal taking a round with this, it's going to just instantly drop. There's going to be so much hydrostatic shock, the animal's going to drop on the spot. You know, again, but this is point blank range, this is water, so we're getting more expansion than we normally would. It's you know, density of tissue is 90% of water or less, you know. So this bullet's probably gonna hold together. This one's probably gonna hold together. This one you might rip a couple petals off when you're hitting an animal at, say, you know, under 50 yards. Not likely that's gonna happen. Most of your shots are probably gonna be 100 yards or more, and then all of these are probably still gonna hold up 100%. But even at the short range, impressive performance. I think that's really good. I kind of wanted my gun to shoot the 150. You know, I'm going to definitely develop loads for the 150 and the 175. Maybe try different powders because I'm kind of limited with seating depth. I had to basically seat these all the same. And maybe I was just off a little bit getting fatigued from shooting because it's a decent recoiling caliber, and I was just shooting off a bipod and not off a rest. So that could factor in too. But when I shoot my first group of this, and it's, you know, under 3/4 MOA or so. I haven't measured it, but I'd say it's well under 3/4, maybe closer to like 0.6. And this one's, you know, 1.75, 1.75, or somewhere in that range. You know, it tells me that it's liking that powder, not necessarily the bullets. This one did put 2 in a very close hole, and then threw 1, and that one was just kind of a random mix here. So those could be powder variations, you know, mix up, try different powder, and it might very well like those bullets. I'd really like to try and get this one to shoot with the Mag Pro powder, because I got that and it gives really good velocities. Now, I didn't have a chronograph to test any of this. It's just book max for IMR 4350, Mag Pro, and H1000. So take it for what it is. But they felt pretty stout, and they were definitely, you know, the primers, everything looks fine on them. Everything looks good. You know, this is once fired brass that I got, and yeah, everything's fine. No punch primers, no cratering primers. Everything looks good to me. Anyways, alright, I'll get this chopped up and upload it, and tell me what you guys think. These are all great bullets either way, and this is, you know, not 100% accurate of what it's going to do in an animal, but it gives you an idea, and that's why you want to test stuff, you know. I didn't think it was going to do that, but nonetheless, it's still going to be an effective hunting bullet, and I'm going to have to go find some IMR 4350 to make more of those for the short time until I figure these two out. I only got 1 box of tips for those. I got 3 boxes of tips for both of those, so who knows? Maybe we'll tweak with this and get it shooting, you know, under MOA. That'd be really nice, and this one as well, just so I have options. It's always good to have. So anyways, later. Oh, yeah. No step on snake.